She's going to go through everything that happened. So
Looks like a
let
big
him.
split under there too, not just rat chews. Is that a split place in the hose?
Yeah, that hose is just about chewed in half, most of the way through it. But
Damn.
okay, so initially, several weeks ago, we came here for the Samsung dishwasher. The Samsung, again, all this wiring along with the tubing was chewed up. And that's why we said, that wasn't really worth the repair, and we were better off looking at replacement. We got the new dishwasher installed, got a X amount of use out of that, and the mice got to the hoses. The first repair we did on this dishwasher, we were able to get those hoses covered under warranty. But like I said, the last time I was out, that's not really something I can do repetitively. Came back out with the new drain tubes. Then we found this hose the last time we were out, which is the fill supply from the solenoid valve up to the dishwasher. And that was chewed up, so we came back and ordered the new supply hose. Now we're back with the new supply hose and both pieces of the drain tube. Pulled it back out to get everything cleaned up. And now we are seeing another new chew spot here on this connection port between the wash pump and the sump assembly.
Damn.
That will also need to be repaired. I'll get that looked up and priced out here in a minute.
Right there on that black.
Yeah, this
coupling.
black hose piece here, basically just an elbow, but you see it's got like one-time clamps. Those are basically clipped into place, and I'm gonna have to cut those out and replace those with new ones. I would almost say that at this point, I think the best course of action would be, if y'all would be all right with it, I can just cap off that power line, and I think the best course of action would just be leaving the dishwasher completely out of the hole. Maybe having, was it Orkin or whoever, Terminex, whoever your pest control guy is, I would say if I can just tuck this in like the corner of the dining room or living room or something, so that he has full access to this hole, he can do whatever he sees fit as far as patching those two holes.
That's
so
how they're
that-
getting in there.
Yeah, I think that those two holes, and then we've got down in this bottom corner, there's a little pull away there. And I mean, I would imagine a rat can probably get down in there as well. So this hole, and this hole here.
Yeah.
Bondo, steel wool, a sheet of plywood. I mean, really,
Seal it.
whatever his professional opinion is for fighting the rats. But my concern is
It's just going to happen again.
I'll have to order that hose, so I can't fix it today.
Yeah.
But at this point, I've been out here every week for like the last 3 weeks, and each time it's been something new's been chewed. I think the best course of action would be for me to leave this out and give y'all a week, 2 weeks, however long it takes to, like you said, we need to resolve the mice.
Well, at this
getting
point,
chewed.
what your cost has exceeded the replacement cost of a new dishwasher.
I'm kind of thinking that too. I mean, I'll take this hose back off, and we'll just sit on it. If y'all want to go with the repair, I would say we can leave the unit out and have the pest guy assess this, and then we can come back.
'Cause even if
do
you
the
get
repair.
a new replacement, if we don't fix the way they're getting back underneath this thing, it's going to happen
The
again.
cost of the new replacement versus the cost of new hoses is kind of not comparable. If we can solve the
Well-
rat problem, we shouldn't need a
No,
new
he's
dishwasher.
already at $350.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
at
know that.
377 before we look at getting this elbow piece.
Yeah,
and
but right now, replacing those hoses versus a new dishwasher, if we can solve the rat
He's
problem.
already at $377, and
I
a
know
brand
that.
new dishwasher is $400 with a warranty.
I mean, this will still be under the manufacturer warranty. Like if the pump failed or something, I can replace that under warranty.
How long to get all those parts?
Typically, we've been looking at about like 3 to 4 business days.
Okay.
I'll have a better answer once I get in touch with my office and see where it's coming from and everything.
I think you'd want to
thought
see a
if we
quote.
can solve the rat problem, there's nothing wrong with the dishwasher. It's the hoses that would need to be replaced
Yes,
if
ma'am.
we can solve the rat problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I mean,
It's all the hoses, though. It's every single water.
how do we take care of
The rat situation.
rat
Like I said, I think the best course of action would be I've already got the dishwasher totally uninstalled. I can just leave it uninstalled. And that way the pest can. I'm sure that the issue is that the pest control guy says it's not my job to uninstall the dishwasher. And then me on the service side,
can't get in there to do
I can't
anything.
do anything about the pests. But
So-
I can leave the dishwasher out
Yeah.
so that he has access to that
So
back wall.
Who do I call to do that?
Whoever you use for whoever you've been working with for the mice, Orkin or Terminex or whoever it is.
We may have to do that barrier work, Dad. Whoever did your drywall downstairs when you had a leak with your wall, that's drywall and carpentry work right there, really. Steel wool. He's going to terminate the electricity so it's safe. We need to put that in a,
I've got
Out of the
places
way.
to put that.
Okay.
and I'll help him move that. And then we have to prevent the rats from getting back in there, because even if he fixes it or you get a new one, they're going to do this again. Look at all this.
Prevent the rats from getting.
We got to
back
get
in.
rid of these rats.
First step would be
Sealing it off so they can't
sealing
get
it,
in there.
drywall, plywood, something. Just either patching those holes with drywall or just putting a thin sheet of plywood over it or something like that, just to block them from being able to get under the dishwasher.
Okay, we can do that easy.
Other than that, I'm not a pest control guy. I mean, they might put steel wool in it because
Right.
it'd be difficult for the rat to chew through. They may spray some kind of a chemical inside there before they put the drywall up. I'm
So
not
get
sure.
Orkin out first and
Yeah, I
then seal
would.
it.
Yeah, I would get Orkin out, have them assess it, and see what their thoughts are. If they want to do anything, great. And then if not, then just look at a handyman kind of sealing up those holes so that no one can get back in there.
Let's get in touch with, get Orkin out there.
Yeah, and I mean, I got some buddies who used to work for Terminex. They had a carpentry division of if there was termite damage or rodent damage, they had a guy who would they would refer to for mending the damage. That might be something that they can handle completely. I just don't know.
So
It shouldn't be much more than just cutting a piece of plywood. and
Yeah,
putting it
yeah.
over
I think
there.
it would be something fairly straightforward, but.
I think we need to get Orkin.
Yeah, I would get
Yeah.
Orkin out here before anything and see what they
Well,
want.
I have a
that's-
place you can put the dishwasher
Okay.
temporarily.
So Steve, explain to them the hose.
Yeah, so you should be good to continue to use the sink. I know that this tube goes to the sink and is all chewed up, but basically the way it mounts onto the disposal is almost at the top of the disposal. So you would have to really fill, 3/4 or more of the disposal. The only thing I would be concerned about a leak is if you clogged the sink and filled it all the way up to let dishes soak or something like that.
Are you saying you can use the disposal?
You can use it. I would just not.
But I mean, as a sink only or as a disposal?
This whole side of the sink should be fine to use. I just would not
Fill it up.
plug the sink and fill it all the way up. Other than that, you should be fine.
Minimal
We're pretty
use.
good with the little bar sink until we.
No. What I'm saying is you can use the sink, and you could have used the sink all along.
Yeah, which I
It's
didn't
not
understand.
connected to the water source.
Well, we did have
You
one
did
of my
before.
first times there was this hose
and
was
and
also
so
chewed.
so
since
the
that's been
plumber
resolved-
fixed that they knew was not an appliance, it was a plumbing thing. And Drew said this is all new faucet and everything. So we could have been using that all along is what I'm saying, and don't fear that. What he's saying is if we overload the disposal and it raises up to the top of that drain, it will leak out.
Never needed to do
But
that.
we'll see that because this won't be here and we gotta get this all blocked off from the rats.
Todd, I need to move a plant in here to have the place for him to put the dishwasher.
Okay.